Next up, we have Flamewall Symphonic Speed Metal by Camellia Official. Featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. This one we've done in the Jam and Shreds before, and this one is a very special one because we are celebrating 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I was not expecting to make it this far, this fast. I do not take this for granted. I am grateful every single day that we get to do this. So yes, Flamewall, this is, once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, which is an actual possibility right now, it blows my mind that it is. If we somehow hit it, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever you all want, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act said fan fiction. We have to achieve this through legitimate means, though. No account duping, no botting, no buying members, nothing like that. Go share the videos, bring people to the community. I don't know, like, get more creators to do collaborations with me. I don't know, but through legitimate and honest means. Don't go spamming people. Don't get annoying, nothing like that. We also have the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have people in the Discord that do. So do that. And members, if you are a member on YouTube, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, you get early access. So you get to access the videos when I schedule them on Saturday, regardless of what tier you're subscribed in. So become a member today. Disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time listening in detail to this song, because as I mentioned, we have done this one, the Jam and Shred, 4 times at the time of this recording, but I never sat down and actually listened to it in detail. So I will be pausing a lot and I will be speaking a lot. I already am, but I will be speaking even more as I will be pointing things out and explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them. And number 2, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I've stumbled upon my words already. We just got 5 memberships from Nova. Thank you so much. And I will stumble upon my words once again. I will do it again. Thank you for the 5 memberships, Nova. I very, very much appreciate it. So yes, recorded in a single take on live stream. Whatever happens, happens. Thank you for the support for everybody who just got their memberships. Enjoy your status, your badge, your emotes, and your early access. With that being said, let's do this. Flamewall. Let's go. Okay, we were 7 seconds in, and this is already such a Camellia thing. So we start with 2 main elements. We start with the violin, and which, the way it's being played, it's borderline fiddle. Giving us our initial motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from, as well as a piano giving us our chords in arpeggios. Arpeggios being when you play a chord 1 note at a time. And Soy Nice and SX, voila. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the mosh pit. Welcome to today. So yes, we're having these 2 elements, and something to keep in mind. Symphonic metal includes orchestral elements. Speed metal is cheat metal. The reason for speed metal existing is, or some of the culprits of that have been bands like Dragon Force before the singer that they have right now. The way speed metal works is you record something and then you just speed it up in post-production in the recording software. It's very unlikely that you will be able to meet people that are able to play speed metal live in concert, which is why if you look at some of the old performances of Dragon Force, you will see them struggling to play their own music because they, even though old Dragon Force on record sounds awesome, they wouldn't sound as good live on concert because they couldn't play their own music because it's sped up. However, with Camellia, we're very much accustomed to very fast music. So you can see over here, BPM 185 to 300. BPM stands for beats per minute. It's how fast your notes are going to be. Let's hear where this goes. Variation of the motif. Okay, so now we have a brief moment where we introduce the band, we introduce the guitars, the drums, and the bass in an accented way. So when it comes to music, we have what we call accents. And no, accents are not to be able to tell whether somebody is from, I don't know, like Alabama or Oklahoma. It is for accentuation. Accentuation is when you take specific moments in the rhythm and you highlight them in something else. In this case, we're just accentuating a part of the motif, part of the initial motif, and part of the rhythm of that motif, and we're using that to bring in the band. And now we are having the violin and the piano still going, but now that the rest of the band came in, we're now expecting them to jump in even further. Goldstein, thank you for the £2. Appreciate it. Remind me afterwards to put these things towards the bribes. All right, let's see where this goes. So we have the piano. So now we have the piano and chimes. The piano being doubled by chimes. Doubling is when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing. And in this case, you can hear the piano. The piano is hitting, and very high up, you can hear the chimes playing the exact same thing. While the band is, I guess, coming into motion, like we're turning on the keys in the car and we're just warming up that engine. So I will not accept Dragon Force slander. Shell, no, it's not slander, it's a fact. Before the singer that they have right now, they used to not even practice their own music. They got the singer they have right now and he got them to practice, and now they are pretty much unstoppable. Like, they can actually play their music. Before that, they couldn't. You can watch recordings of Dragon Force before 2012, and they can't play their own music. Nowadays, they very much can, because they got somebody that got them to practice. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see where it goes. We repeat the thing. Hey, another £2. Thank you, Ghost. We bring in one of the things. So something about symphonic metal is that very much that it usually overlaps with another subgenre called power metal. Power metal is usually this kind of thing, except without the symphonic elements. Very epic, very fast. And now what we've done is that we've taken the motifs, the riff that we have. Riff, by the way, being a more contemporary version of the motif. It is what happens when you take a motif, which is the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from. You put an ostinato to it, which is when you repeat it over and over and over again, and then you put it on a guitar, bass, or keyboard or synth, or whatever contemporary nowadays instruments that you can get. So we have that going on. We switched over from the piano and the chimes over to the guitars, and I think we have some other symphonic elements. Let's hear a bit more. The symphonic elements, yes. Drums change over the bass, yeah? Okay, so now we had two main things going on. Number one was we had a moment of transition, an extended fill, so to speak. So when it comes to music, we have something called fills, especially nowadays when it comes to band music. Band music has fills. Usually these are kept for the drums. And a fill, what it's going to do, it's going to be a rhythmic cadence. So, one second. Oh, that was my computer. Sorry. So when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension, or you're resolving that tension. That point in the middle, we call a cadence. And usually this is something that you're going to achieve via the melody or via your chord progression or harmony. But nowadays, because of the existence of the riff, one of the limitations of riffs is that they just loop over and over and over again, which means the cadence is fairly ineffective. So a way to make these cadences a lot stronger, we add what we call fills. These fills are going to be cadential phrases, cadential melodies, any sort of thing that is not necessarily related to the material we're already using, but it is very, very much something to use to change, to indicate that we're about to change the loop. And that's exactly what happened. Bum, 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 bum. That is not unique to this track over here. That is not unique to Flamewall, but Camellia is using it as a way of signifying a change, which is exactly what happened. Then we had another moment of those accented drums, letting those arpeggios going up, and bringing in the start of what sounds to be our first guitar solo. Let me go back a couple of seconds. Let's see. There we go. So yes, we now bring our first guitar solo in. And when it comes to instrumental music, you need to keep form in mind. Form being your structure. When you're making music, you want to keep a very careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much of the same, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, and you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. And with Camellia, we often see Camellia leaning more and more towards the new material, which is a big risk. However, there is one universal exception no matter what genre you're in, and it is going to be solos. When you introduce a solo, right now it's a guitar solo, you can do whatever you want, pretty much, as long as it sounds like it fits enough. It is, because right now the accompaniment, we're doing slower accompaniment, we're doing some arpeggios, so we're still kind of following that same theme, but the chords are more or less the same, but we're not really doing anything familiar. We're kind of bringing some new material, something a little bit slower, but because it's a solo, and Camellia knows how to make it cool, gets away with it. Let's see where this goes. We're having the piano. So now we have the violin. We switch from guitar solo to violin solo. And the violin here in the solo is giving us some glimpses at the original motif. Some glimpses here and there. The piano is sometimes accentuating the violin. So we are getting glimpses from that original material to kind of just hint and wink at the fact that, yes, this is still the same piece that we're listening to. It's not necessary, but it is also a very good thing to add because it keeps you, it loops you back into the same, let's see where it goes. Isn't that flying melody? I wouldn't qualify it as that, no. Back we go towards the guitar. And the guitar is doing a melody in what we call a sequence. So we're doing another motif with the guitar, and since it's guitar solos, we can get away with it very easily. And when it comes to motific development, which is just, counterpoint. Counterpoint being being melodies, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of more than one melody interacting with one another. However, in this case, we're just talking about a single melody, how it's developing. And valid user, welcome today. And Freble, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the mosh pit. Welcome to today. So in this case, we are talking about motific development, which in this case is sequencing. When it comes to motific development, you're gonna grab a motif, and in this case, let's say this is our motif. And when you sequence your motif, let me just push this window a little bit here. When you sequence a motif, you are repeating the motif, but you're just repeating it from a different point in your scale. In this case, we are going downwards, and we are creating, we're not just reusing the melody, extending the time that we're using, but we are also creating kind of a meta melody in the shape of where we are taking each repetition of what we're doing, which can give you room for creating other motifs. It's one of those things that that you can extrapolate as much as you want. And knowing Camellia is very, very good at this kind of stuff. It's gonna probably come and play again in the future. So let's see where this goes. There we go. We got that harmony, variation of this motif, still doing that sequencing. We bring back the initial thing. And we modulate, and now we have that extended cadential moment. We are at the peak, waiting for that cadence, delaying the resolution a little bit by holding those chords. And that holding of the chords gives us a bit of extra tension to resolve. So, let's see. Let me see here. So yes, we're having that, and then we modulate it. So the concept of modulation, oh boy. When you have music, you have three components: melody, harmony, and rhythm. Harmony is by far the most complicated one. This is the one that people will spend years of their life studying considerably more than melody or rhythm and still never finish. Melody is usually, the individual horizontal lines. Rhythm is the use of time, whereas harmony is a more extrapolated, a more meta way, a component of music, which is what chords you're using, what scales you're using, what chords you get out of your scales, what scales you get out of your chords, what sets of chords you're using, what sets of scales you're using, how you change between them, the relationship between those changes, and all of that. And when you change from one set of chords to another set of chords, that is called modulation. Now, modulation can be achieved in many, many ways. And what Camellia did right now is called a common chord modulation. So, when it comes to harmony, as I said, scales, chords, all that kind of stuff. And by the way, don't bother requesting right now. Requests are not open yet. So, if you requested songs, you just wasted points. So let's say we have a scale. Let's bring an easy example, right? So we have the C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And then it goes back to C. And then we have another scale. Let's say... let's just go for G. So G, A, B, C, D, A, and F sharp, and it goes back to G. So these are two separate scales. These are called key signatures, and from these we can get different chord combinations. And usually these chord combinations are going to be what we call triads. And for example, we have C, E, and G, which is our chord of C major, D, F, and A, which is our chord of D minor, so on and so forth. And if we want to change from the key of C major to the key of G major, we might want to do the smoothest type, which is common chord, in which we take chords that are in common between the two. In this case, we could do C, E, and G, which are both chords in both scales. So we use that C major chord to be a middle ground, a common denominator, before we pivot from one key signature to another. Camellia has done this a little bit more complicated than that. Camellia ended up using a couple of extra chords for that, but in essence, that is what ended up happening. We found two chords that were in common between the two key signatures, and we moved from one to the other. Now we're in this other one, and we are suspended here. Let's see what this. Okay, and now we go back and we have a variation of our initial motif. The motif we had at the start, it's very similar, pretty almost the same, but we got some variation on this. So let's see where this goes. Nice. Cadence. Another variation. Another variation right away. Modulation again. Another accent. And back we go to the original. Back we go to the original motif. So, structurally speaking, once again, you have what is called form, right? Form is the structure of your music. When it comes to instrumental music or a piece, in this case a piece or a track, this is not a song in strict terms. Songs is when you have lyrics, when you have vocals, and when the lyrics and vocals are the driving force of the music. This case, it is not. So strictly speaking, this is not a song, this is a piece or a track. Colloquially, we're still going to call them songs because it's just easier to call it a song. So yes, so we have structure, and when it comes to instrumental music, you're gonna need to use letters. So for example, we had an intro, a quick intro, which was then followed by the section A. Then we had section B, which was two parts mainly. Part 1 was the solos, part 2 was that little variation of the motif that we heard. Now we are back to section A, which might be A prime. I don't know. And Livy, behave. You get one warning. And we are gonna take it from there. So from here, this might be prime. Let me hear a bit more. Thank you, Soul Creek. Holy shit. Oh my god, Soul Creek did a mod. Soul Creek intervened as a mod. Now that's a flex. So yes, let me go back a couple of seconds. Big W's for Soul Creek. All right, let's see. So yes, we have a different cadence over here, which merits the prime. Prime, this little apostrophe, just means that that we have a variation of that. Soul Creek goes on the YouTube chat, yes. So yes, we're having the variation over here, and now we have two possible places where we can go when it comes to standard structure. We can go back to a variation of B, or back to B, or we can go to section C. If we go back to B, this is some sort of binary or ternary, or if we go to C, it becomes a rondo. So let's see where this goes. Another point, and we slow it down. Let's see. We're still in A. We're still in A. We're doing that that cadential part. We're extending it more, so it's a variation. Man, like the guitars in this, like now that I'm hearing this, the most difficult part of this track so far is the drums. Like everything, the drums and the piano, everything else is playable. Like, I could definitely learn this song and play it live, most likely. So far. It's probably going to speed up at some point, but so far, this has been playable, which is very, very rare when it comes to speed metal. Usually, the problem with speed metal is that it's not something that you would be able to play live. I am biased, though, because I can play pretty fast. I can play fairly fast. But yeah, no, the piano here, the piano and the drums are the two parts that would be very difficult, but still within the realm of possibility. So, let's see where this goes. Ah, really cool. Alright, we had, and off the ramp we've gone, by the way. Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic term for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats, as if I was here, or it can be as long as an entire section. And the purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended, up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How have you done that? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well. So yeah, let's see where this goes. So yes, now we are in section C. We have arrived in section C. This is, officially speaking, a rondo. Rondo means to go around. So the way it works is that you might have an intro, you go to section A, then section B, then back to section A, or a variation of section A, to section C, back to section A, section D, so on and so forth. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, and on top of that, this is a breakdown, by the way. The other exception, remember when I said that the exception to familiar versus new is solos? Metal has an additional one, which is breakdowns, which is this. Breakdowns are entirely rhythmic, they are completely made up, and well, I mean, everything is made up, but it's like completely unrelated material. It can be related, unrelated material, and you get away with it. And right now, we're having the breakdown with a flying melody. Flying melody is another colloquial term that I use, which is when you have busy drums, busy melody, middle ground, and high above, you have a melody slower and simpler than everything else, kind of flying above the landscape that the musician has created. If you want to hear two songs that I think are very, very good examples of this, one of them is the climax of Roxanne, from the film, musical or film Moulin Rouge. You can find it on YouTube. Is the one that is sung by Ewan McGregor. When the climax happens, while everything else is happening, you can feel that melody flying. And the other one is, I think it's Good to Be King. It's either that or Mine is the Kingdom from the film Journey to Bethlehem, which is the part that Antonio Banderas sings during the chorus. Mine is the kingdom. That part, you can both feel them very, very much, and it's wild, right? Because Roxanne is a orchestral. It is with an accompaniment of an orchestra, while Good to Be King is electronic. It's electronic music. Like, I remember the Journey to Bethlehem showing how this random studio managed to do the... You know how Disney used to have the whole... Disney villains would have incredible epic songs, and now they don't? This shows how you do it in modern, in the contemporary context. So yes, we have this going on, and we have that flying melody going. Let's see where it goes. So you can hear that melody, while the drums and the guitars are just going absolutely insane. Alright, this sounds... And now we're doing a recapitulation of the intro. I'm gonna count this as still being part of C. So let's see. Cadence, modulation, off the ramp. Where are we gonna land? We're doing the melody from B. So you know what? I'm gonna count that as A. Oh, quick A. And now we're back to B. Variation of B. Because these are the same melodies from B, just with different drums. Ooh, and we change those drums to completely change the feeling of this entire track. I'm gonna mention it. So, it just goes to show how important drums are, and how important just having a good accompaniment is. If you want to hear an example of this done in the most obvious way, listen to the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. The Mirror by Dream Theater. First minute. John, 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 John. Full minute of the guitar doing exactly just that. And the drums, the synth, the bass, they change around it. And there are points in which it just simply sounds like it's just completely different. It's insane. ACAP, yeah, this is the structure that we have. Get your politics out of my music analysis. We can do the politics later. So no, so right now what we're doing, this is fairly unusual for a rondo, by the way, to go back to B. It's very, very unusual, unless you were building a palindromic variation of a rondo. I guess we could call it a palindromic rondo? A palindromic rondo, maybe? In which case, yeah, you can get away with that to an extent. A palindrome, by the way, being a word that... a palindrome is a word is a word is what we mentioned for a word that is spelled the same way forwards as it is backwards. For example, race car. Race car is spelled the same way forwards as it is backwards. That is a palindrome, and so far we are having or a number, or yeah, any pattern that goes the same forward as it is backwards. And in this case, you know, we have A, B, A, C, A, B, and if we have A again, then we have that. And yes, I guess 666, like repeated numbers, I guess that counts to an extent as a palindrome. It's like cheap palindromes. But usually there's that. If you want to hear an album, there's an album that I love. That the entire album is written as a palindrome. It is Affinity.exe by Haken. It's prog metal. And oh my god, it is just it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, the whole album is built, like, you have the middle point, which is the architect, and you feel like it's the halfway point, and then just the music starts mirroring itself. It's insane. It's insane. All right, thank you for hanging out, Royal. So yes, in this case, it would be palindromic in the sense that we're getting A, B, A, C, A, B, and then A. However, since there are the variations, there's like, a little bit. So, yes, I think it's page 2 is easier in the sense that Flamewall, because it's not as exhausting. Oh, you're talking about these things. Okay, let's see where this goes. Back to section B we are. Section B has been one of the longer ones, yes. With section C, with the extended, not the extended, this sequenced motifs. This is almost pretty much the same way. Okay. Is it not C? No, this is still B. Moving over to there, yeah. And off to section D we go. And off we go to section D. So we are deviating from our standard structure, because now we've gone to a completely different, a completely separate, completely different way than our usual. So we have now a partial rondo, and yeah, what we could be seeing a double rondo, we could be seeing a rondo plus a binary, rondo plus a ternary, which is basically we reached this point over here, and here's the divide, and from here on we're starting a new structure. So if we go back to B after this, then we'd be going back to a new structure. So let's see. Alright, off the ramp, modulation. Section C. Section C. No. This is... So section D over here would have been a variation of C? Because I think this is from C. What we're hearing, I think it's a variation from C. So A, B, C. Okay. Yeah, look, and I'm seeing people fighting again about funk. Funk is fine, dude. It's meme music. And believe it or not, memes are powerful. It exists. It's not reggaeton. It's not atonal filth. It counts. I don't care. It's obnoxious. It's 100% obnoxious, and that's kind of the point. So it serves its function. All right, so let's see what this goes. It's obnoxious, and that is the point. It serves its function. All right, let's see where this goes. Because I think we're back to C now. C prime. Modulating C again. We're repeating it. Yeah, no, we're in section D now, completely section D. With variations. Yep, section D off the ramp. And I think we're starting to enter outro territory. Yeah, this is outro territory. This is outro territory. Yeah, we go back to the... And the outro kind of resembles section A a little bit. Alright. Oh, those blast beats! Hell yeah! Oh, one last cadence. Couple of runs going upwards. Resembling those arpeggios from the start. One last hit. And there you go. My God. What a track that was. A very, very cool trip. And I'm surprised at how playable this is. Considering that it's speed metal, this is surprisingly playable for IRL musicians. Yes, you need highly skilled musicians to play this, but like for the drums, I can see Chris Dovas, I can see El Estepado Siberiano, I can see the current drummer from Seven Spires. I can see them being able to play this. I can see several bass players being able to play the bass for this. I think I could be able to play this guitar. Jack Costo as well. Then we have the piano. The piano, that one you would need an exceptionally good pianist for, though, because that piano is particularly fast. Same for the violin. The Metallica drummer, thank you for not mentioning his name, because otherwise he sues us for using his likeness. So yes, I would say yes. Like, this is very much playable. It's just on the higher end of difficulty. But yeah, there you go. That was Flamewall Symphonic Speed Metal by Camellia, featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what has happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. Once again, we're doing this one as a celebration of 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you once again, everybody, for being here. I do not take this for granted. I am grateful every single day that I get to do this at all, and that y'all are even here to like it. If we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have to achieve this through legitimate means, though. No account duping, no botting, no buying, nothing like that. Go share the videos with people. Go bring people to the community. Get me collaborations with other creators that you think would like this kind of stuff. I don't know, but don't bother, don't spam, don't harass, anything like that. Everything has to be done legit and honest. There's also the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord who do, so check out the Discord for that. And members, if you are a member, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the videos on Saturday when I schedule them, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, and if you're on the live stream, you can go ahead and start requesting. We're going to do one round of live. And if you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned message. And if you want to join the streams when you catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, no worries. Go to the Discord or the Twitch. They both have the full streaming schedule showing in your local time zone. So if you live in I don't know, in Sydney, and you're like, "Oi, but what time's 6 p.m. in Hungary, mate?" I was not a good Australian accent. Yeah, 6 p.m. Yeah, just go to the Discord. Don't worry. Discord, Twitch, they will have the schedule showing in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Bastard. That's where I put the recordings of the video game after shows. that we do. Link down below, or just search on YouTube for the username, same as James R. Basterd. Just up the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. That was Flamewall symphonic speed metal. Really good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.